Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the show here over at Heroes Hearth with the Heroes Hearth Invitational. One more best of 5 coming up after seeing Syde advancing to the lower bracket final. One of these tournaments where we have this rising star with a breakout performance. And that was Syde today. So, Remo, I think we should celebrate that in a way.
That sounds great. How could we celebrate, Neo?
I mean, we had a lot of fun. I bet Syde had a lot of fun. So we all got something out of that, right? So how about we give something to the viewers?
That sounds amazing.
That sounds amazing, right? Because not only is this invitational brought to you by Heroes Hearth, but also, as you can see in the bottom right, by HyperX, hardware manufacturer, and they feel like giving you a little mouse. A very good one. The HyperX Pulsefire Raid mouse. And if Kendric is ready, then you can win this right now with just typing a simple word. And that is HyperX Family. If our podcast host and Heroes Hearth host Kendric is ready for that, I think he will give us a go. And then one of you guys can be so lucky and win a brand new mouse by HyperX.
That's great, Neo. We, you know, Syde just made us happy. We continue to make the community happy with an amazing mouse by HyperX. So, yeah, type that in chat, I guess, is what you're saying?
Absolutely. Just, that's all you need. Type in chat here on Twitch. HyperX Family is the keyword. Kendric, I think, has to realize that we're operating on a 3-minute delay, and then we're good to go. Tomorrow, the grand final and the lower bracket final. Syde is already there. And Foggy and Cash, we will see them there as well, as they have a top 3 position guaranteed. But who's in the winner bracket? Who's in the grand final? Who's in the lower bracket? That's the question that we will answer in a bit. Another best of 5 coming up here after this little raffle. And of course, this is a channel that broadcasts Warcraft, among others. And they have a wonderful Fight Night, a King of the Hill mode tournament by Heroes Hearth, casted by Kendric himself and the legend Grubby. So there's more Warcraft content here. If you're usually a Back2Warcraft follower and are not that familiar with Heroes Hearth, there's a little button called follow, and you should definitely press that one.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been putting up some great games, have been highlighting a lot of the European and the American scene also over the last couple of months, I think it already is. So make sure you follow and stay tuned for everything Warcraft related.
Okay, so we're still waiting for the go. We want that mouse out of... Kendric is in chat, so we're getting there. Yeah, it's gonna be an amazing weekend of Warcraft, by the way. We have 4 tournaments this weekend in Europe. Tomorrow we have the Yule Cup over on our channel as pretty much of a lead in to the second day of the Heroes Hearth finals. So definitely check that out as well.
Who's gonna get the mouse? Is the question.
It is the absolute question. We'll have one more raffle after the grand final. So very, very generous sponsor HyperX.
Grand final will be tomorrow, along with the losers final. We already know the 3 players we're going to see: Foggy, Cash, and Syde. But who's going to be in the grand final already?
Foggy looked super strong in this entire tournament so far. 2-0 against Spiral, 3-1 against Hawk. And Cash, also 2-0 against Neutron. That was pretty good, but Neutron was playing from Los Angeles, so little advantage for the Russian here, or for the Russian orc here. And then 3-2 against Syde with random, though. And I wonder what race he's going to play. So. Alright, apparently Kendric is ready. He said it in chat. HyperX Family, you know it. So spam that one. Spam, 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 spam. And one of you lucky fools will have a brand new mouse in a bit.
I have never gotten lucky at those win things. Have you, Neo?
Maybe you should try your luck right now.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to participate.
No one told us that we're not.
It sounds. No, I'm gonna give the chance to chat.
With all the esports money, you can just buy one. Come on.
Esports money.
Come on.
I have some HyperX products as well. Can only recommend.
All right. So, with that being done, we go into game number 1, I think. The players are waiting for us. And I'm in, you're in, noise. So, winner bracket final. The 2 best players of this tournament facing each other. We had 2 days before, and as we said, Foggy defeated Spiral 2-0, defeated Hawk 3-1. Cash made it from the other side of the bracket, 2-0 against Neutron, and 3-2 against Syde. What is he playing? The answer is random. That's an interesting story right here, but first, let's introduce these players. We have from the Ukraine, a former Vice World Champion, a 2-time Vice World Champion, also a 2-time bronze medalist at World Championships. This is Foggy. If you only watch the grand finals against Happy, he looks a little pale in comparison, but he is a beast. Maybe the strongest Ukrainian the game has ever seen. Definitely in the past 5 years. ELO rank 14, only 26 years of age. The boxing champion, celebrated in Europe and Asia alike. His opponent is at the same time his coach, and that is Cash. Like a constant in the Warcraft community for many years. His ELO ranking is only 33, but that doesn't say too much. He is a weapon with every single race there is, and he knows Foggy inside out, but that goes vice versa. Ukraine versus Russia, Foggy versus Cash. Game number 1 in a best of 5. Here we go.
Night Elf versus Night Elf, the first matchup we're gonna see here. The good old Night Elf mirror. Foggy's gonna scout for this early. And yeah, Foggy, before Happy's claim to fame, he was the strongest European player with his back-to-back WGL finals. Was looking so impressive. Normally, Foggy excels the most when he has time to prepare for his opponent, when he can line up certain specific strats. But can he do that against random? Not really, right? There's so many different options to choose from. And Cash, well, he is one of the best random players in Europe. And early on, his Ancient of War here doesn't seem to be in too much trouble. Foggy was trying to cancel it with a Wisp pull. That didn't exactly work. So, I guess this early game is looking just fine now for Cash.
I agree. But what are the heroes? We have a Keeper of the Grove on Cash's side. We have a Priesthood of the Moon on Foggy's side. So he knows, of course, Lightning Shield fixes this position. All the creeps were all a little out of position, I guess. So not too easy to attack them with a Lightning Shield. But here we go. More Treants. Easy kills. This creep will take some more time. Has a Lightning Shield on him. This means that Foggy is creeping a little bit faster with archers, with her bottom level Ring of Protection coming in, Hunter's Hall, and double Engine of War. Mass tier 1.
Yeah. And Cash denied one of the creeps here.
Oh.
Not the big boy, but one of the level 3 guys. And that is relevant for the level 3. AZ, normally such a good creep route for the Keeper. The first 2 into green, into Cobalt, that's level 3. But if you miss one of them, then that's not the case. We have level 2 now for the Potom as well for Foggy. Going towards the next camp right away. This really surprises me. Normally we see aggressive play against Keeper much more, because once he gets to level 2 Entangle, things can become really dangerous in the early and mid game. But Foggy is fine with giving experience to the Keeper of the Grove as long as he's getting some himself, I guess.
It's interesting, right? Level 3 Keeper is so strong for a time, and that's pretty much exactly the time where Foggy wants to push, right? You get summons, you have a nice disable, Potom is already at 50%, so you can disable her with Entangle and maybe focus while you're waiting for the tech. But the tech has started only now, 3 minutes 30 in. It's gonna be archers into a second hero and maybe dryads to counter the mass hunts. And the Keeper can help you to bridge that time.
Very important here for Foggy is to bring Wisps to always have Dispel against the Entangle. Especially if Huntresses of his should be getting entangled.
Yeah, he can't
Cash
really
wants-
afford to lose the hunts. They're just too expensive in comparison. You can't trade one by one. Keeper got it. Or? I think so.
Yeah, Foggy got it.
Oh,
Bottom got
wow.
it. And that's the level up even further delayed. Here comes the Dispel from the Wisp. Foggy seems to know exactly how to play around this Keeper of the Grove.
Impressive. And he contains him. So his plan was to give him some time, to give him 2.5, but then put the pressure on him. So he's kind of close to 3, but not at 3.
A small thing here to keep in mind also is we have Ultra Vision advantage for Foggy. So he has the much better nighttime vision. Now one archer might be lost, or maybe not. Now we have 3 Huntresses out, and that is quite a bit of map control presence already. 3 Wisps were lost, so it's not like these entangles lead to nothing, but they don't lead to experience. Don't lead to a level up. Level 3 is still somewhat far away. Cash is trying to get it now, but over at the Trolls, the big boy's already dead, so he won't be able to get it here.
Exactly. Smart. Foggy anticipating this. There's a lot of piercing damage in Cash's army. So he can deal with hunts if they are in range. But longbow would be nice to have. Foggy arrived at level 3. Level 2 True Shot Aura. 20% extra damage on range attacks, which is everything. And Cash, this Moonwell will not come up. He's gonna be stuck at 40 supply. He can't go for a second hero except he like detonates Wisp or something.
APs coming up. The classic 35 to 40 AP push Night of Mirror with Huntresses. And the archers aren't quite ready yet to defend, or at least not in a very good position. But one Huntress dies. That's the level 3. That's good for the Keeper. Goes, I don't know for what build here just yet. But hold on. Archer's now in a pretty good position next to the Moonwell. And these Hunters are starting to fall.
Yeah, nice block by Cash with his whips. But the hunt couldn't go out. AP's positioned more defensively. He's burning more mana with that Wisp detonate. Archers, they're in trouble. It's nighttime. He gets the Moon Juice back. And where are the lores? They're not here yet. Good Shadow Melts to save these Archers to not feed the bottom higher. Close to 4.
The reveal, though, is going to come in any second. And there it is! And suddenly they're all visible. 2 more Archer kills at the very least.
Hunter saved. Foggy with good micro. This is the strategy that won him so many Huntress mirrors when he was playing on the early days of Netties against the Chinese. When he had to face Chinese to qualify for the World Championships. That's exactly what he did. Against Colorful like 3 times. And now AP is up. We have a Beastmaster for Cash.
It's only a single AP though. And that one is very damaged already. Cash 29 supply, Foggy 35. Oh, one more Archer about to die. It's daytime now, so no Moon Juice region anymore. It's looking a little dicey over here for both sides, honestly.
Seriously, right? Like 26 supply only for Cash, 35 for Foggy, but all bruised. Speaking of bruised, this Beastmaster is lucky that there was no mana anymore. The Searing Arrow could have gotten the kill. Decent detonate against the Treants. Easy to deal with them, but there's more summons. No repair on this Ancient Protector.
AP will be falling, but how much experience is Foggy gonna get in the meantime?
On level 4.
One more Huntress is in the mix. Shredder coming in now for Cash. This Shredder is gonna help a lot.
Absolutely. Still, where are the APs? We don't see them. But look at the right clicks of this Shredder.
He denied the Beastmaster with the Keeper.
Wow.
Nicely done.
But he's safe now.
A town is under siege.
The Shredder brought stability.
It's not over yet, though. This was all defense mode by Cash here so far. And we kind of saw a very similar game at DreamHack when Moon was playing against...
Hawk?
Was it Neutron? Where
that,
Neutron
yeah,
was just turtling,
Oh,
and suddenly
yeah.
Moon was teching out of Podem hunts into bears and just soaked up the entire map.
Yeah. But Foggy is far away from attack. He goes up to higher supply first. Is not teching at all. Doesn't have the lumber at the moment. I think this is just a second push.
Need some scrolls, though. Without scrolls, this is very difficult for the Podem. Foggy was expecting the shop to be crept already, but it's not crept, so getting the scrolls will cost him a bit of damage.
Bottom's already low. Gets the protection, gets the heal scroll, but oh my, he has to be so careful with her.
That's a lot of Huntresses, though.
Yep. Keep her at 50%. Beastmaster is back. Mana's looking okay. Detonates against the treants once more. More experience. 4.5.
Attacking the AP. If that one falls, that's the highest DPS gone suddenly. Heal scroll coming in rather early. Is this enough to hold for Cash? He still has some decent numbers on the field.
Scroll of Protection was immediately dispelled. The Shredder, the Searing Arrow, getting rid of it, but that's a lot of attention. Oh, he's trying to repair, but the Searing Arrow, for once, making a difference.
Another bottom's L5. Aura becomes even stronger.
Plus 6 damage. Healing cancelled. Oh, but that's 2 hunters about to die.
2 level ups for Cash are around the corner, but does he have the numbers still to hold? Everything's so damn hurt. Cash is praying for nighttime.
Yeah. And if we're fair, this level 2 Beastmaster doesn't do too much. He's probably dying again in the back. Oh, if he gets level 2 before, no! He loses the Beastmaster once more, and the Keeper probably as well. GG! Foggy takes map number 1 with an old school Bottom Mass Hunts AP push.
That was pretty close, though. Cash was really, really close to holding there a couple of times. If Cash gets the heal scroll there instead of Foggy, I think this game will look differently. But alright, Foggy wins the first one. 1-0 against the random player.
Yeah, usually we would talk about the strategy now and discuss if Foggy is just playing the same thing again and how this strategy is faring on the next map we're gonna see. But here, what can we say? We don't even know what race he's going to play against. Cash still on random. Do we have a reason why Cash is playing random?
Many people have asked this question before. Is he doing it for psychological purposes? Is he doing it to throw the opponent off? What is his reasoning? To me, he once said, and I don't know if he was being 100% serious, he said, well, playing just one race is pretty boring. Playing random is more fun. Is it the enjoyment that makes him choose to play like this?
How many beers were involved?
I mean, that's a good question for Cash any day, right?
That's absolutely correct. So the second game is up. It's going to be up at Northern Isles. And of course, Cash has to
stick with random here. Were you about to say the same thing?
I was about to say the same thing. We are in sync again. We haven't talked like pretty much the entire week, but you know, the Back2Warcraft connection just takes an hour and we're back at it.
Yeah, in Warcraft 3, you can't change mid-series, so you have to announce your race before the series starts, or rather, before the vetoing starts. And Cash said he was going to play random, so he has to stick with random all the way through now.
What would you say is his strongest race, and what's the rankings of his races, pretty much?
Especially against Night Elf, I'd say his human is the best. I've seen very little of his undead, honestly. Of course, his orc is outstanding. His human is really good. And his Night Elf, I wouldn't have the greatest hopes for him in the Night Elf mirror against Foggy. But getting orc and human both should be pretty good.
Yeah, especially if he has like this jump start of knowing what matchup he's playing. Foggy always has to scout to make sure.
And he has to scout very, very early if he wants to make his first hero decision after knowing the opponent's race.
Yeah. I mean, Foggy can always go for a Demon Hunter pretty much. Might not be the best, but it's always...
Especially against human and against orc, though.
There's better options for sure, but kind of doable. So... Foggy's ready. Cash is ready. All the casts are in. We're loading into map number 2. Northern Isles, Cash's pick. Cash played random against Syde in the winner bracket semifinal already and was struggling. Foggy on paper, a different tier than Syde, maybe until today. And we have seen Cash in a legendary series playing random against Foggy, or at least off-race against Foggy, and eliminating him from a World Championship qualifier. There is quite some history between them. But so far, it's all looking good for the Ukrainian. We have a 1-0 lead for him, and Cash gets his main race.
All right. Lands on ORC. I don't know if this is something he prefers to see, or if human would have been his ideal choice. I know that some orcs really feel frustrated in this matchup. Other orcs don't mind it at all. Hitman comes to mind, who at DreamHack said numerous times that this matchup is pretty easy, and that Huntresses are awful units. And with that is in concert with Starshaped and myself. But it was Moon showing at DreamHack that, yeah, Huntresses later on in the game aren't so good for fighting anymore, but they're really good for run-by styles. And if there is a student of Moon currently in the scene, then it's Foggy. It is very likely to expect that he's going to be following in Moon's footsteps. Expansion, hunts, run-bys, and so on. That's what we're expecting to see from him. And I believe that's also what Cash is expecting to see.
All right. I do have some issues with the overlay at the moment, but hopefully this will solve itself in a second.
Orcs recently in this matchup on certain maps have been skipping the barracks for a long time, going for a fast Voodoo Lounge instead, trying to punish a greedy Ancient of War creep. And I really like this because even if you don't find the greedy creep and are able to punish it, it's still a lot of pressure on the keeper right away. And whenever you can delay level 3 keeper, that makes your mid-game so much easier. Comes with its own dangers. If you don't have grunts out for a long time, an AP push in the main can catch you off guard, so this is something Cash will have to look out for. He sees the Ancient of War at the Tuskars. Is not trying to slow it down with the Peon too much. Like, you getting a Lassie with a Peon is really unlikely. Do you see the Peon juggling the axe? That was pretty cool. But just forcing a few right clicks on a Peon can bring you the necessary seconds, because the Blade Master is running over the scroll of speed and is trying to steal some of these last hits. A single one would be a big deal. Oh my god, very last second he gets in there. And that makes this opening already somewhat successful for Cash, because this is level 2 keeper denied.
That's true, but good positioning by Foggy, hides behind the units, the summons, and the Ancient of War, so no space to attack for this Blade Master at the moment, and this item is the absolute dream for any Keeper of the Grove player.
Yeah, big mana potion. If he gets to level 3 quickly, this could win him the mid-game single-handedly, or if he saves it for later on in the game, for level 3 Alchemist could also be really good. Blade Master with Dust and Circlet. And this is not the kind of keeper game you want to play if you're the Night Elf. You want to be creeping to level 2 easily, then have control with Entangle, and keep on creeping onto level 3. And this is why I like this opening by Orc so much. You don't give the Night Elf what he wants. You're on his neck with your boot right away, and are making life difficult for this Keeper of the Grove.
And that's what we see right here. Still trying to get this overlay to work, but I guess for this game, we have to live with what we have so far. So the Keeper is distracting the Blade Master, just runs away from him. There's no boots. There's 3 more Windwalks though, so this could lead to a TP maybe. In the meantime, a Peon is still scouting. Foggy is not creeping, but building a Tree of Life.
Expansion here, pretty early for nowadays' standards. In the old 1.30 Keeper days, it was super fast expansion, sometimes as quick as 1 Archer Expo. But nowadays, especially thanks to Law Light, expansions have been played later and later, because you want to creep first, you want to get upgrades first, you want to be strong first, and play map control with the Keeper and the Alchemist. But with now the Expo being so early, Foggy can't go for upgrades quickly, can't go for mass hunts quickly. So yeah, the Expo is quick, but Cash's mid-game should be pretty easy. This is a level 1 Keeper having low presence in the mid-game.
Yeah.
This should be a very easy start for the Shadowhunter.
Absolutely. It's a lot of time in the early mid-game for the Orc. Especially like last week, or this week, plus the end of last week, we've not seen too many mass hunts into expansion, but rather the other way around. And Night Elves were really successful, so I don't blame Foggy on playing it this way. We felt it was a little outdated, but somehow Night Elves got back to this timing, and it's finally level 2 and more mana.
The Blade Master.
A town is under siege.
Can he cancel this?
The Keeper is not running back.
It's still taking a while for this Tree of Life to
Takes
finish.
forever.
Oh, if he can cancel this by himself. One grunt is getting caught with the entangle, but a grunt for a Tree of Life trade. Cash is gladly going to take that.
He's even saving it. Shadowhunter is in.
Speed scroll. Nice.
Now the Archer attacking the Blade, but that's it. We have a Wisp here to repair. 3 Wisps actually. This Expo is safe. Foggy calculated the damage nicely. Maybe was a little lucky with the damage rolls, but still. There's like 200 HP remaining.
This could be quite a few Wisp kills though.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh my god. Look at Foggy knowing the Wisp hidey spots. I haven't
Perfect.
seen these before. Very
Perfect.
smart. Oh, and suddenly the Blade Master's in trouble. If the Keeper shows up here, he might be dead.
Far away though.
Keeper is in the north, yeah.
Does he have a staff? I don't think so.
Ooh, the Blade Master.
Dude, another acid bomb.
Creep Jack in the north. Foggy coming in, looking for more grunt kills. Would that be his first one, actually?
Yeah, that would be the first one. And he steals the claw. This is great because the Blade Master loves claws. And Cash, there's another entangle. And there we go. This is second kill. Oh,
Yeah,
Dispel.
third.
Shaman arrives.
So this was one grunt lost. It's not the end of the world. Shadow still gets level 2. And Cash knows about the expo timing.
A player's
Oh,
forces
if you can
are
steal the
under
last hit of the big boy, this would be outstanding. Doesn't get it. Doesn't get the claws either.
Man, that could have been plus 15 damage on every attack. Blade Master has no mana anymore. The Keeper's coming in. That's
Yeah,
a
he's-
kill Blade Master. Yes, no.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's absolutely dead. Entangle if he needs it, and he does. Bye-bye. Level 2 for the Alchemist as well. Great damage. Still great mana. He holds on to that great mana potion. And now it's just time to mass these hunts, get that expo up, and finish him.
Certainly a bit of an overextension here by Cash, and losing this Blade Master is annoying. But if Cash gets to 50 supply, grunts Shaman with a level 3 Shadowhunter, he can still stabilize. He can still get up his own counter expansion, or perhaps even push. The Blade Master won't be the carry hero, at least not for a while. But it's not the end of the world. Foggy is still far away from high supply with good upgrades. He's at 36 right now. He's not fully mining. And the first attack upgrade for the hunt is only coming in now.
In the shop, we have another potion of greater mana. If Foggy mines a lot, possibly a good item. Or cash goes into it, but it's very expensive, so rather not. This is level 3 Keeper of the Grove. He summoned the treants already. Wonder what he's going for. It's only a level 2 Shadowhunter. He had so much time, or we thought he's gonna have so much time.
A town is under
The
siege.
one treant makes it north with 27 HP.
Ooh. Scouts it,
Player's forces
attacks
are
it.
under
Okay,
attack.
he's expiring, but Foggy knows what's up. And it's looking really good for him.
Cash gets the heal scroll. That's a big deal. Oh, one grunt not in the group. Cash.
Oh, and another one entangled. Has to use another purge and a heal wave. That's a lot of mana for saves.
But Foggy's army is still small. Still
Yeah.
only 43 supply. He's not going to have the scroll here to rely on. Heal scroll at least. Cash trying to slow everything down.
And by time for his expansion, no upgrades.
Solo creep this with the shadow. Sent the Blade Master away. I guess it was level 2 Blade as well, so perhaps a better idea to keep the Blade Master in this.
He needs damage and stats. I don't know. Sometimes it's a Blade Master that saves you the games. But usually it is the Shadowhunter.
Cash walking away from his expansion. What? He's just completely giving up the expansion to be cancelled.
Wow.
That's very surprising.
What's he waiting
Foggy's
for?
still only at 50 supply. With no heal scroll. He could have... he has one heal scroll now, excuse me. This could have been a hold. Maybe.
And it's not like he's preparing a run-by
Players'
of any
forces are under
sorts
attack.
for a potential tower push or whatever. He wants to fight now. Lightning shield on the blade. It's a lot of archers, by the way. Not too many Huns.
Yeah, true. Only 4 Hunts here, and the Grunt dies, one of them quickly. Foggy suddenly with a formidable force over here.
And with this early archer transition, the Serpent Wards aren't too much of a factor.
Yeah, exactly. Against mass hunts, Serpent Wards are extremely good. But against a mixed army like this, not so good.
Attacked by
player's
Foggy
forces
now.
are
He
under
was on
attack.
tier 1 for such a long time. Defense upgrades finally. More Shaman for Kasha as well. And this is giving him level 3 Shadowhunter. But as we said, the Serpent Ward's not the greatest factor here. Plus 18 damage on the Keeper. Second scroll goes to him.
Something that we've seen from the Korean orcs quite a bit is go one base tier 3 into Tiny Great Hall Expo. But this is not what Cash is opting for here. Could still afford it now, but perhaps he feels it's too late. Instead he's going for towers up at his expansion. With
A town is
no
under siege.
reinforced defenses though.
Yeah.
Cash, you
Players'
definitely want to
forces
get that
are under
upgrade.
attack.
And Foggy owns the shop. How is Cash supposed to get items here? He has a big invul and a heal scroll still. But for the future, it's gonna be real rough. Dust, scroll of protection, heal scroll, staff as well. 56 supply now. 1-1 upgrades, more to come. 2-1 in the works. And the expansion just paying off more and more and more and more.
And Foggy is not stopping here with his transition. Tier 3 is coming in. We're going to have marksmanship soon. We're going to have orb soon. Perhaps a Podem.
Blade,
Master.
Owl.
Oh, taking a lot of damage.
Shadowhunter's so low mana. He has to heal wave way too much to spam the Serpent Wards.
Yeah, I think so too.
A player's
Normally you want
forces
to
are under attack.
use that spell as little as possible. It feels like the engagements Cash goes into just aren't the proper ones. Also, you only got the first armor upgrade for the Grunts a few moments ago. I feel like the upgrades for Caches are a little too slow.
The shop so far.
is blocking the way out for the Orc army.
The shop is gone now, so he can finally exit. But everything is at 50% HP already. These Hunts, they are destroying the Grunts.
Tough game for Cash. It's not looking good. His expansion is far from finished. In the main, under so much pressure, thankfully finally has the reinforced defenses. Late Master, by the way, needs to be careful, has an invul still. We need to make use of that soon. But the Grunts, they just seem completely useless.
Yeah, I agree. And now Acid Bomb in the back. The detonate connection was great. Blade Master is a non-factor. Alchemist is kind of low as well. Heal Scroll was used, but Foggy is still at 69 supply. And Cash is trailing. Oh, Alchemist, Invo Potion, so close, Purge! That's so close, crit, backstab, it's so... Oh. No, he kills the Alchemist, okay! But that was the last thing he did in this game, except the double Gs. At least, like,
Are under attack.
a little bit of a win in the end, but Foggy takes the 2-0 victory, and just as Syde has 3 match points in a row now.
That started off as a good opening. Kept the Keeper from leveling for such a long time. But suddenly it all slipped away. I think the decision for the Blade to, or the overextension from the Blade in the south really came to cost him. But it's, you know, it's not easy. There's so many decisions to make for Orcs, so many things to scout for, so many perfect positions to stand in. If we see the likes of Focus and Lin playing this, oftentimes it looks easy, but it's not easy at all. And Foggy, the stronger player here on map 2, gets the 2-0 lead.
So it could be Foggy in the grand final. Then we would have a rematch of Syde versus Cash. It's the first game tomorrow. And yeah, is it the right choice to go for random? I mean, this was his main race and it didn't look too different compared to game 1.
Yeah, it was... I would say game 1 was actually more even than the second one. Somehow, Foggy, once his Alchemist came out, he seemed to be in total control. and Cash not always perfectly knowing in what position to be in. I think when he moved away from his expansion to go towards his shop, giving up that expo attempt, that was the crucial mistake.
Yeah, so how does the game look if Cash gets the 2 claws and it's not plus 19 on the Keeper, but plus 15 on the Blade Master, and then you get crit? But yeah, that wasn't the deciding factor. Foggy was far, far ahead already. And now about to claim at least the silver medal if he wins one more map. Once again, here in the Heroes Hearth Invitational, sponsored by HyperX, we got $500 for the winner, $300 for the runner-up. Third and fourth place is $200, and all guys who were eliminated in week 1 get $100. So, Foggy versus Cash, map number 3 is Concealed Hill.
Is he gonna get human this time? No, getting undead. I was having vibes of the WGL qualifier again, where it was this fateful map with Cash playing human with a rifle pally push, kicking Foggy out of the WGL. But here he gets undead. And this I find more interesting actually, because I feel like
because you are undead.
Because this is the race that I've seen Cash play the least, where I can judge him the least in. And gonna be interesting to see what he plays here. Is it just gonna be standard? What's gonna be his game plan? We'll see.
That is, yeah. I don't know either. Whenever people start to play random, like Infi, like TH, that is the case. Like, we never see undead from them. Cash, though, he played millions and millions of ladder games. And with that, thousands and thousands of undead games. He knows what to do. He saw a lot of games of Happy. Of course, he knows the builds as well. So it's all about the execution.
And Foggy is waiting for is starting the hero production before knowing about his opponent's race. Sees the Acolyte in the middle now. And Keeper is absolutely playable against all races, especially on Concealed Hill.
Here we go. Remo's hate for the Keeper. Let's go.
But especially against human can be a big problem in the late game. Same for Undead. If Undead gets to super high hero levels and big supply and a counter expansion, then you're in trouble. But if you are able to prevent some of those things, high levels or counter expo or really big army, the Keeper can still very much work, either with a mass air style or with a mass riot style.
Yeah, once again, depends a little on what you can do in the early stages of the game. Both will focus on creeping. Oh, wait a minute. Not going for the orange campus cache, but rushing over.
It's very unusual to see. Normally, the Ogre camp is the first one Undead always goes for. This is why this is a pretty good Undead map, in my opinion, just for early game purposes. You can creep that camp first, then be aggressive, and ghouls and skeletons take out the green to get you level 2. And then you can be aggressive as much as you like, and prevent level 3 on the opponent's side. Preventing level 3 on the Keeper is crucial in the early game. And I guess this is what this opening does manage to achieve.
Is under siege.
Preventing levels on the Keeper. But also, of course, no experience on the Demon. DK.
And the Treant blocks were pretty good, so there's a lot of space between the DK and the Keeper. Tech has started, and you can't rebuild these workers during the tech. Ghouls can't harvest gold, so if you lose an Acolyte, that is indeed a problem. So far, Cash is dealing with it nicely. The Ziggurat can't be saved, but he cancels it. Oh, no lumber. And the ghouls are busy. That's a very late second Ziggurat.
Yeah, Cash also really greedy not to go for a narrow tower over here. With a DK around and coils, there should absolutely be no Acolyte dying. It's just not enough damage, too easy to juggle. Should be easy at least, and yeah, Cash is doing it well enough. Keeper doesn't find any kills. But yeah, the Ziggurat being delayed, that's going to slow down Fiend production by quite a bit.
Player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, how is Cash supposed to creep? I mean, with skeletons, that always works. You will have a lot of gold as well. But you need Fiends at one point. And I don't know. There's an expansion coming up. It's already at 40%. tier 2 started as well, and Hunts. He plays it like against Orc.
Yeah, this is where you can see that Cash isn't the main race undead. When you can see the Keeper going so aggressively, you want to pop down your second Ziggurat way in the back, where it's much harder to cancel. Send out the Ghouls early to apply pressure, and ideally have a narrow tower up. But, you know, hard to know all these little details if it's not your main race. Cash is coming in now, looking for some more creep steals, and he managed to get some experience over here. But yeah, not having Fiends for so long, you're absolutely right. It's going to make creeping very tough now.
And even if he gets one Fiend out, there's Entangle now. So if Foggy decides to be a little more aggressive, that can be an easy kill if he gets more mana. That's a lot of ifs. So just a few skeletons here. Finally the Ziggurat is finished. Third one coming. First Fiend in production. But that's a free expansion pretty much.
Yeah. Is not going to be the fastest expansion of all time. Oh, Cash is delaying his tier 3, actually. That's surprising. Normally you see tier 3 before Slaughterhouse because you want to get to these destroyers as quickly as possible.
So yeah, this expansion, you said it's not going to be the fastest one because he has to walk there and trees are very slow without Nature's Blessing. You always have to creep this. And yeah, Foggy is just taking it back a notch.
And he's playing Hunts.
Yeah.
That is extremely unusual.
Yeah. But, I mean, Moon has once or twice towered undeads here. So if Moon does it, Foggy knows that it's playable. It was against 1-0 and Moon won, so... But then it makes no sense to go for this expansion, of course.
A long time ago, like at least 1.5 years, Foggy had this super weird style against undead with Hunts and Hippogriffs. And it didn't really work against good undeads. So I think he's just going to transition to Dryads here. Yeah, we have the double doors covered. Okay. Couple of Hunts for map pressure and then going into Dryads.
And creeping. Like, it's so fast. Okay, a little expensive to repair. Lich is out. No orb yet. Far away is tier 3.
Yeah, I really don't agree with this delayed tier 3 at all. I think that's a macro mistake.
Why not?
Well, because you want to get destroyers as quickly as possible, quite simply. If you go for the Slaughterhouse first, yeah, you're going to get the first statue quicker, but it doesn't matter that much. Even with a statue, you can't fight as soon as the Alchemist comes in.
He forces a TP with a staff on the Keeper. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Like, if you find the Fiends here without there being the spell, as you mentioned, it's just so easy. The Alchemist was coming as well, thanks to the Tavern being so close to that position. And now the TP is gone.
What do the early statues do now? You still can't fight.
They heal.
You just delayed your tier 3 for no good reason, really.
And the Expo is up. No way to pressure for Cash.
I'm so surprised that Foggy's playing so differently here than he is against Happy. Against Happy, he never goes aggressive.
Yeah.
And always goes for creeping instead.
Well, in the early, he's pretty aggressive, so that Happy has to hide in his base for like a minute. But afterwards, in the tier 2, tier 3 stages, you're absolutely right. Double lore, no tier 3, 2-1 upgrade already.
Players' forces are under attack.
Looking good for Foggy. Looks like a quick 3-0-3-0 today.
Wow, that's crazy quick Dryad upgrades, actually.
Yeah. Like the first one doesn't do anything right now.
He's actually at 0. He has 0 Dryads.
Yeah.
And he's about to have 2-0 already.
They made some use of that Hunch Saw. Not let it rest.
If you do play Dryads, it's really important to have levels on them, to have upgrades on them. Need to have them dealing good damage and, in my opinion, even more importantly, armor, so they don't die too quickly. Downside of Dryads is, if your opponent's hero levels become too high, something like 4-4-3, it doesn't matter how many Dryads you have. They're just gonna die. And I think for that reason, primarily, Foggy's playing so aggressively, trying to not allow these undead heroes to spiral out of control.
We do have 4 Fiends now. That's a good number. Only upgrades are missing. Foggy's playing with the idea of going for it. Naga third for cash. Putting in a lot more control and a little bit more damage. Destroyer upgrade doesn't seem to be finished. Okay. 3/4 about to be. And Foggy needs mass now. Nice deny. So now that they are kind of disengaging, does it feel to you that Cash is Foggy's coach and knows him and knows exactly what he does and knows his timing and strategies and everything? Because I don't.
Not in this matchup. Definitely not in this one. And the last one, when he was Orc, it didn't look so perfectly timed either.
It feels like Foggy is just playing something that he would never play against a Happy or in a regular game.
A player's forces
against Happy he doesn't play like this. But I think it's specifically against Happy where he saw, okay, Keeper just doesn't work. He's just microing perfectly every time. I just can't get any kills. Okay, Foggy considering going in here. 58 supply now for him. Cash is ready to counter expand with another Acolyte here. Foggy sees this early. And in we go. Towards the Naga first. But then shifts the target towards the Fiend. The Dispel is way too late. Wow.
Dryad saved. Nice micro by Foggy so far. Dryad are attacking this Naga and there's no way of healing her. This is the third hero falling. Not much impact. Dispel against the Treants only. The Acolyte is dead and the Expo plans cancelled.
Yeah, Foggy is abusing the fact that this DK is not level 3 really, really well. Smart game plan, honestly, by Foggy. Looking for a Ziggurat Counselor early, so he knows the DK's leveling is going to be hindered. So he knows perhaps if the DK doesn't get to level 2, he can apply crazy amounts of pressure. And without that level 2 coil, you can find kills somewhat easily once the army's out of position. Foggy playing this very smart.
Yeah. Dryads are starting to fall, but we're still so far away from these level ups as well. Acid Bomb is great, no defense upgrade. There is reveal, there is Burrow, but there's also reveal thanks to the Sentinel Owls. Entangle after entangle. Every entangle is a kill.
And the Fiends, when they are running like this, there's no damage really to fear. Fiend numbers too low at this point. DPS not high enough for Cash to find kills anymore. He's the only one giving away kills, it seems. And it's level 2 for the Alchemist already.
This is pure dominance. Naga is back, but also back to the grave in a bit. Chemical Rage, good damage. Can he make it to the shop? Nope. Bye-bye for the second time. Level 4 Keeper.
Yeah, this Naga third also a bit of a questionable choice. Foggy seems to be swimmingly moving towards the grand final here. 60 supplies still for the Ukrainian. Cash with random. Today it's not working out for him.
Against Cash it was. Against Syde it was. But here today Foggy knows him too well. Is in general too strong for this. 2 destroyers in the air, but for how much longer? There is a coil, but how many level 1 coils did he throw this game? Way too many. And Foggy can afford to lose the units. He has 600 gold. He just goes to the shop again. He saved the invul. He wasn't forced into using an invul at all. He has double base. And goes for just more Dryads.
What was that?
That was the double base, you know.
Ah! Double base, I see. Yeah, Foggy can transition here if he wants. In fact, he is. Tier 3 is almost reached already. Oh, a cute little Dryad block in front. And again, if Fiend numbers are so low, you can afford to do this. If there's 5 Fiends on the field, that Dryad instantly dies. But we have 2 Fiends only. One of them in the ground. But now Cash is back up at 50. And he still has the tier 3 benefits of Destroyers and Orb. But still no level 3 on the DK. This is a painful, painful game for Cash.
Also still no upgrades.
Forces are under attack.
Everything just takes too much damage. Another heal scroll, more creeping, closer to level 3. Level 2 acid bomb's gonna wreck everything. Creep Jack comes in a little too late, so the Dryads take control over these destroyers. And Cash has to disengage. He's finally back at 50 supply, so that's kind of okay. But that's all he gets. Tree of Life next to the tavern.
Yeah, and Foggy also going for double Chim Roost in the main.
Oh,
he is
wow.
feeling so confident now.
Oh man, what is this with Night Elves dominating Cash and going Chimeras? Moon did it at WGL as well. But that was like even more humiliating.
Dryad's Chims, man. This reminds me of old Neutron playstyle. 1.30 days. Is pretty weak against mass fiends, but it's not that many fiends. It's only 3. And guess what? Cash is going double slaughterhouse, getting ready to go into A-bombs.
Oh no!
That's not going to work out well.
Players' forces are under attack.
Yeah, Foggy is just having the best day of his life on Concealed Hill. Legion Doomhorn, sweet. And more experience, level 3. Oh my, level 2 Acid Bomb plus Chimera damage. I almost feel sorry for Cash at this point.
Yeah, this is not gonna be easy. That much is for certain.
The hill, the Concealed Hill,
A player's
goes to
forces are
Foggy,
under attack.
who's continuing creeping. And what is Cash doing while Foggy is creeping red spot after red spot? Camping in his base, home alone.
Yeah, it also feels like he doesn't exactly know how far to push his army and, you know, how far he's allowed to engage, how deep he's allowed to engage.
Flute! It's 10% damage on ranged attacks, which is everything. So, yeah, Foggy, he doesn't want to end the game already. He wants chimeras.
A player's forces are
Yeah, he wants a shredder, he wants all the upgrades, he wants to get the 100% in the score screen. There we go, there's the shredder, I told you.
True that. He's also at 2-2. And... wow, big mana potion. Hail Mary attempt by Cash. Trying to get this expo up. But even then, it's gonna be 3 base versus 2. On the A-bombs, man. This feels so bad.
I'm just waiting for Roar to be thrown into the mix here.
The first Chimera. Look at the damage. It's so surreal.
town is under siege.
TP home. And Cash just GTFO.
These
88.
A-bombs are not gonna have a good time.
He sees it and he doesn't give us the big fight. He taps out before. First game today, 3-0. Second game today, 3-0. This is the winner bracket going to Foggy. He's in the grand final, secured silver medal. That is $300. And Cash has to go through the lower bracket final against Syde, who is absolutely on fire.
Yeah, his games today were the certain highlights. The Dreadlord plays. My goodness, was that a treat to see. And now they're gonna meet again. Tomorrow. Syde versus Cash. Is this finally the time when Cash doesn't have the safety net anymore to go for his main race? Or is he sticking with random?
Let's see how he feels tomorrow. Once again at 7 p.m. Cash and Syde stepping into the ring in the lower bracket final, determining Foggy's opponent in the grand final. This is gonna be hype, man. This is gonna be real good. We have it here again. $500 will be awarded for the winner tomorrow. One of the two, Syde or Cash, will go home with 300, and the loser of tomorrow only, in quotes, 200. This tournament
Foggy once again looking so strong in this tournament. It feels like when Happy is not around, Foggy is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, same as like in our Reforged Invitational, where it was pretty much the same as well. I absolutely agree. It feels like he's off the chain. There's nothing that holds him back. There's no mental block. He just rips people apart. It's just very good.
Only one map dropped so far. Foggy tomorrow will be the man to beat. Cash or Syde will have to be the ones to do it.
And we will be blessed with the presence of Grubby next to us. Gonna be a tri-cast, Back2Warcraft and Grubby for Cash and Syde, plus the winner versus Foggy on Saturday starting at 7 p.m. Mark that in your calendars, guys. Do not miss this. But this is like the end of the broadcast here today. But Heroes Hearth and HyperX is giving you one more shot at a HyperX mouse. It's the same raffle as we had before this game started. The keyword that you have to use is HyperX Family. Kendric is going to open that raffle for you in the Twitch chat. So all you have to do is to wait for his command and then spam that HyperX Family. Who's your favorite?
Big thanks to HyperX for the support here. Is a new sponsor, I think, getting involved in Warcraft 3. So that's great to see. Support them, guys, and make use of this little raffle. Good luck to everyone. And my favorite, you were asking?
Absolutely, yeah. Who's your favorite for tomorrow? What's your prediction for tomorrow?
Cash going to play random. Syde is going to beat him. And then Foggy's going to win the final.
What a boring prediction.
But it's pretty accurate. Like, come on, put something on the line then. Neo, how's it gonna go?
About one Turmbräu?
Yeah.
I would think the same though. But okay, to do something different, I think that Cash defeated Syde already last week, and yeah, Syde is having momentum. He's the hero of today. All the talks are about Syde. But tomorrow that's gonna end. The hype will be over. And we see a rematch of Cash and Foggy.
Alright, we'll see who's correct. Even if that should be the case, Syde making top 3 here I think is pretty impressive with Dreadlord all the way, right?
Yep.
Dreadlord against Hitman. Dreadlord against Cash multiple times. Dreadlord against Hawk. So cool to see him with his own style being victorious here. We'll see how far he'll be able to go and what race Cash is playing tomorrow. This was a pretty short cast today, but tomorrow we're going to be back nice and early because tomorrow we're going to have 2 casts, in fact.
Absolutely. We go home first to Back2Warcraft to cast the Chinese tournament, Yule Cup, $3,600 on the line there. We have 120 and WFZ, and the other 2 players, I'd have to look it up, but they're going to be good anyway. So just tune in. We're going to have a GSL style group there to lead into the Heroes Hearth Invitational, the grand final, the final 3. And yeah, you should definitely watch both. And what you should also do is to give some follows for Heroes Hearth here on Twitch, somewhere over there, but also on Twitter to get notified when they have new content, because they not only have this invitational, they also have the fight night. Kendric and Grubby cast this for you bi-weekly on Fridays. And that's a pretty cool King of the Hill format with Hitman at the moment crushing it. But he's about to fall, I think. So more content, more Warcraft content here from Heroes Hearth. Give them a follow everywhere you see them, and give them some love in chat, because they are very, very wonderful people. Okay, the giveaway is starting now. It was a wonderful cast today. Cool games, especially by Syde, obviously. Nice crowd. So spam that HyperX Family now, and we see each other tomorrow on Super Saturday for more Warcraft 3. This is Neo and Remo checking out. Back2Warcraft. That was it. Have a wonderful Friday. Man, this cast was so good, and then I fuck up the end. Remo, any final words that are better than mine?
Have a good night, guys, and see you tomorrow.